First down from the 20-yard line. O'Connell to the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. Trey Tucker.
What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel and you would like to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and also you can now become a member to this channel. And please leave me a comment and please like this video so we can get to at least 200 likes, everybody. Well, Raider Nation, as you can see by the title of this video, can the Raiders offense compete in the 2024 season? I believe our team is going to be a defensive-led team. You know, Coach Antonio Pierce is a defensive-minded coach. He was the starting middle linebacker captain, that is, of a Super Bowl winning team. They beat one of the best teams to ever be assembled, you know, in the New England Patriots, the team that went 16-0, but ultimately lost in the playoffs to the New York Giants, that was led by Coach Antonio Pierce. It was said by Justin Tuck and by Michael Strahan, by guys on that defense, that Antonio Pierce was the one that led this defense. He was the one that got all these guys riled up and ready to go to war on Sundays. And he knows exactly what it takes to win a championship. He is a defensive-minded coach, and that's exactly why I believe our team is a defensive-minded team. You know, we were the last team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of great offenses in this league. Just look at our division. You know, we got the best quarterback in our division in Patrick Mahomes. We can't take anything away from the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to make an argument here today to tell you that the Raiders are a better offensive team than the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, we're not that ready yet. But our defense is so good that I believe that they're the ones that's going to really pull us along for this season. They are the ones that are going to lead us to victories. We're going to have to lean on this defense. They're going to have to hold teams to under 20 points in order for us to score. But nevertheless, I still believe that our offense is going to be good next year. You know, we have a new offensive coordinator in Luke Getsy. Now, there could be an argument that he's not a good offensive coordinator because he came from the Chicago Bears, and quite frankly, they didn't do well in Chicago in the 2 years he was there. But prior to that, he was the offensive coordinator for Mississippi State, and he did great. He was a top 10 offense in the nation. And prior to that, he was the Green Bay Packers wide receiver coach, and Davante Adams had nothing but respect and high praise to talk about Luke Getsy. So I expect this offense to do a hell of a lot better with Luke Getsy than we did last year with Bo Hardegree. In my prior videos, I've been stating that I expect Aidan O'Connell to be the starting quarterback. Yes, I know we paid Gardner Minshew $12.5 million to be the quarterback of this team, but I don't expect him to be the starter. I expect them both to compete, but you can't take anything away from Aidan O'Connell. What he did last year as a rookie was phenomenal. Now, he wasn't as good as CJ Stroud, but he was a hell of a lot better than Bryce Young. And keep in mind, he didn't have any reps all offseason with the first team offense. He was thrown into the fire mid-season when the head coach was fired, when the offensive coordinator was fired as well, and he had to learn on the go. And he did phenomenal with Bo Hardegree, who was a first-time play caller. Give Aidan O'Connell a full offseason with Luke Getsy at the helm, with him practicing with Davante Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, and I believe that AOC is going to be a hell of a lot better than he was last year. All players take a significant jump from year 1 to year 2. So I expect him, like I said, to be a hell of a lot better. Now, as far as Zamir White, I expect him to be good. You know, we're going to have a 1-2 punch with Zamir White and Madison at the running back position. Nevertheless, Alexander Madison wasn't a really great running back. He averaged under 4 yards a carry. He's going to be a step underneath Josh Jacobs. Nobody can replace Josh Jacobs. I'm not here to make an argument to tell you that we're going to be better without Josh Jacobs. But we did win a few games without Josh, as we did in his whole Raiders career. Plenty of games Josh Jacobs has missed, and the Raiders have been able to win without him. So that is why I think he was expendable, and that's why ultimately we didn't bring him back, because we were able to win games without Josh. But nevertheless, I expect our offense to compete this year. I expect us to be a hell of a lot better this year than we were last year. As far as the offensive line goes, we still have a gaping hole on the right side of the offensive line. Now, the Raiders think highly of Thayer Munford, and I believe he will be the starter at the right tackle position come week 1, but that still leaves a gaping hole at the right guard. I don't want Van Roten back in the silver and black. I don't believe he was that great. Don't get me wrong, Dylan Parham, Andre James, and Colton Miller, they're a good 3 pair of guys on that offensive line, but the right side is where I feel like we need to shore up. I believe right now, if the Raiders do not move up in the draft, I believe we will end up taking a right tackle or a right guard. I don't believe the Raiders are going to go after corner. I know Antonio Pierce is a defensive-minded coach, and we're a defensive-led team, but I think he's a smart guy. I think he's going to lean on Tom Telesco to improve this team. Tom Telesco is notoriously known for taking really good offensive linemen in his draft. Just recently he took Rashawn Slater right before we took Alex Leatherwood a couple years ago, and we all know what the hell happened there with Alex Leatherwood. He was a complete bust, and now he was starting with the Chicago Bears. So that just shows you what Luke Getsy had to deal with in Chicago with these players that just weren't that good. So like I said, Raider Nation, I believe that our team ultimately is going to be a defensive-led team, but that doesn't mean our offense can be top-notch. Top 10, now that's a stretch in itself, but I believe that our defense is going to be able to lead us just good enough that our offense could push along and win us some games. Like I've been saying all offseason, I expect these Raiders to compete this year. I expect us to make a playoff push, even a wild card. I believe the Raiders can ultimately win one of the wild card spots. There's plenty of great offenses in the league. The Houston Texans just added Stephon Diggs. They added Joe Mixon this offseason, and they made the playoffs last year. And like I said, CJ Stroud is going to his second year, and like I was saying, players that go into their second year take a significant jump. So I expect CJ Stroud to be a hell of a lot better in Houston next year. But don't take anything away from Aidan O'Connell and Luke Getsy. I expect that 1-2 punch to be a hell of a lot better than what we had to deal with last year. Out is Josh McDaniels. Out is the Patriot way. This is the new Raider way, and I expect Antonio Pierce to really push his mindset, create this culture back to what it was in the 80s and the 90s, and really take us back to our winning ways. Let me know in the comments if you guys believe that the Raiders have a top-notch offense, and if we can compete this year with our offense as how it stands. As of right now, I believe that we are a playoff team. Antonio Pierce is not going to take no for an answer. He knows he might not ever get a chance to be a head coach again. So he's going to go balls to the wall this season, and he's going to give it all he's got. So I expect these Raiders to be a hell of a lot better this year than we were in years past. Like I said, let me know in the comments how you guys feel. Like this video, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. And until next time, Raider Nation, peace.